Trump's political allies have been contorting themselves to avoid calling the war in Iran a war.
We're not at war right now. We're 4 days in to a very specific, clear mission.
They've called it war. What I was saying, okay, well, that was a misspoke. What I was saying that they've declared war on us.
The reason they don't want to use the word is because the Constitution says the power to declare war belongs to Congress. But I have watched and chronicled as presidents of both parties made increasingly broad claims that they could initiate other kinds of hostilities abroad without going to Congress. So who decides if the United States is going to war? The reason all these presidents of both parties have been able to establish these precedents is that Congress has acquiesced. Over the decades, individual lawmakers have complained, but as an institution, the body has not stood up for its assigned constitutional role. And executive branch lawyers signed off on what their bosses wanted to do, as long as it falls short of what they say would be war in the constitutional sense. These are some of the factors lawyers have cited, whether the host country's government consented, like when Clinton was going to send troops into Haiti in 1994 because the legitimate president had been ousted, and the president said, yes, you can come in to restore me. Whether there were going to be troops on the ground and severe risks of American casualties, whether the United Nations Security Council or a multilateral ally like NATO was involved in the operation. Like when President Obama dispatched the United States to take part in NATO's air war over Libya in 2011, how long they thought the deployment would need to last, whether there was a significant risk of escalation. When an operation is not aimed at regime change, like when President Trump decided in 2018 to strike Syria as punishment for using chemical weapons. Many of the factors that executive branches have cited are not present when it comes to the war in Iran. There is no consent of the host country. There is no United Nations authorization. There is no involvement of our NATO alliance. There are significant risks of prolonged operation and escalation. The Trump administration have talked about regime change. As of now, President Trump has not introduced large-scale ground forces with an intent to occupy Iran over the long term, but a growing split between how the founders clearly intended the United States to function and how we have been governed in practice means the decision so serious as taking the United States into war turns on what counts as a war in the constitutional sense and whether there's anything left to that standard.